What is going on, faithful? Welcome to another episode, a quick kind of emergency episode-ish. We got some bad news. Our center, Alex Mack, who is still under contract, has come out and said he's not quite sure if he's going to be returning for his 14th season in the NFL with the 49ers. Now, obviously, this is a big hiccup. The 49ers they valued the center position a lot, but they really haven't got the return for what they have spent on it. You remember when the 49ers came in with Western Richburg, when Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch first came in, they invested a lot of financial capital to bring him in free agency and never really panned out. Now you get Alex Mack, who was good. He was an above-average center last year, not Pro Bowl level, even though the Pro Bowl, whatever, not all pro level, let me say it that way. But he was good, very, very good. We need him back. The 49ers need him back. He was supposed to take this, the offseason to decide if he wanted to return or not. Got married in Ireland. Congrats to him and his family. But yeah, we really need that Mac to return. And I think that's a big deal. I'm with you there, Tommy, because this is huge. Not only have you already lost Laken Tomlinson, but you also have Trey Lance, who's going to be stepping in at quarterback. How many starters is this guy going to lose before he even steps into place? Now, the 49ers have options. Okay, so it's not like they're void of depth or whatever else. The other center on the team is Jake Brindle. And again, I went back the last episode or one of the last episodes and detailed all of the different positional values, what they need to address most heading into the NFL draft. And I had center pretty low, but I had a caveat on it if Alex Mack doesn't return. That's where it gets weird, right? And so Jake Brindle would be the guy that could step in right away, but I don't think he would be the starter. I think it would be Daniel Brunskill, who, if you remember, he was the starting center that they moved back to right guard whenever we brought Alex Mack in. So that's one of the issues that I think he would be the primary backup that would step in. I think he would be the starter. Then the question goes to, okay, if you move Brunskill from right guard to center, who's going to start at right guard? That is a bigger question mark. Jalen Moore, who the 49ers drafted relatively high, well, 5th round pick. But he saw playing time early, even at left tackle, and played really, really well. But then he got surpassed in the depth chart by Colton McKivitz, of all people. Do you put Colton McKivitz there, who passed him Jalen Moore in the depth chart at left tackle? Would he also pass him at guard, which he's taken snaps there as well? So there's players that you could put in there. But I would be willing to suggest that one of the starters, whether it's the center or it's the right guard, and this is all assuming that Aaron Banks is going to be the plug-and-play guy at left tackle. There's a lot of what-ifs right here, man. It really reminds me a lot of the Joe Staley saga. Let me say this. Alex Mack has earned every single right to take all the time that he wants to decide if he's coming back. Up until the start of the 49ers, the start of the NFL draft. At that point, it's, hey, man, you got to decide. We got to move forward with you or without you, but it's time. So we're getting to that time. Joe Staley, if you remember, very similar offseason where it was like, yeah, I think I'm going to come back, but I'm going to take some time before I commit. We go through day one of the draft. We don't hear jack squat. We go through the start of day 2. Then we hear there's a trade. We traded for Trent Williams, which was a great trade. Fleeced Washington completely. And then we find out afterwards, well, man, if we traded for him, that means Joe Staley's gone. And sure enough, that's what happened. It started to feel that way. Brad Graham, who we've had on the show before, does an awesome job. He said he puts at a 95% chance that Mack retires. That hurts. That hurts. So this is rough. This is rough. Now, are there free agent options? Yeah, this is the big one. Huvie says, again, sign J.C. Treader. I like J.C. Treader a lot. He's the president of the Players Association. Very, very smart cat. I think he would be a perfect guy to plug and play there. But again, I think they're going to go through the draft first before they make any things. And I wish that, again, Brunel says, if Mack retires, sign J.C. Treader. I want a veteran center. I would prefer a veteran center. Now, my draft approach, are there draft guys available? Yes, there are. If Mack retires, that center position becomes so important. Even if you're going to slide Brunskill over, who just signed his 1-year tender today. But even if he does slide over, now you're going to need guard depth or something. So you need one of these hybrid, versatile guard centers. Now, one of my favorite players in this draft, And I've been on this one for a while. Comes out of Memphis, Dylan Parham. He is one of the most athletically gifted center prospects in quite some time. Not like Creed Humphrey gifted. He's the most gifted guy to ever come out of the draft ever at the center position. But again, he's a guy that I think you could target second to third round. Cam Jurgens, who the 49ers have visited with out of Nebraska. He's a guy you can target second to third round. I'm seeing this right here from Mark. He knows his stuff. You listen to the podcast, man. We got you. With Donovan West replace. I think that would be a good one. But again, Donovan West would be a third to fourth round replacement. Cole Strange out of Chattanooga, third to fourth round replacement. You want to go even deeper. Luke Fortner out of Kentucky, right? That's a kind of fourth to fifth round replacement. Alec Lindstrom, Boston College, fourth to fifth round replacement. And then after that, it's just a bunch of projects. So there are options. But it doesn't seem like, I don't know. This is a rough one. And I see right here, Phil, my current draft crush is Cole Strange. He's so fun. Chattanooga. Lots of fun guys. There's lots of guys there. But this is interesting because the 49ers would go from being in a place where they have dressed in free agency, plugging all their roster to where they can kind of go premium position, best player available selections, and draft guys that they really, really like. This would throw a wrench into those plans. Would Kyle Shanahan be okay bringing in a rookie center? Man, he hasn't trusted rookies really anywhere. So that's going to be rough. And I'm not quite sure how I feel about this. I feel a little bit less confident in the 49ers, situation than I did an hour ago whenever this news started to come out. And so, sorry, I got home from school a little late. Wanted to get this up as soon as possible. But this changes things. This changes my draft approach if I was the general manager. Now, the 49ers front office is going to know much more than we will. But why in the world would he put this out there, Alex Mack? I'm not sure I'm going to come back if he is going to come back. That's the thing. Why? Help me understand the motives behind that. He's not renegotiating a deal. He's under contract currently. I don't understand. It doesn't make much sense to me. So we're hoping that's the best case situation is that he comes back. We draft a center replacement, red shirts, and then steps in. That's best case scenario. Now that's looking less and less likely. And for all the people that have been saying, okay, safety's the biggest need. Okay, wide receiver's the biggest need. Okay, right tackle's the biggest need. This says, you got to vault up that center position, which is a premium position. It's premium. If you look at the way Kyle Shanahan has paid that position and allocated capital, salary cap capital there, guess what? It's left tackle, right tackle, center, then my grandma, my grandfather, then left guard, right guard. Like that's just the way it's been allocated. Center is a premium position in this offense. And it's not just plug and play any center. You have to have somebody who can do a zone specific center. That's what has to happen there. So anyway, I wanted to jump on here. This is a short episode. I'm going to be going live here around 4:35 with Wayne Breezy. He's been joining us on Tuesdays. We're going to dive into this more, but I wanted to jump on and just talk about this because I think it's important. Again, if you want to go back and listen to our previous episode where I go through all the positions, you can check that out and just see, man, why I had center so low, but why it should be a lot higher now. And man, I don't want to be too much of a knee-jerk reactionary take guy. That's not what I am. But, man, if I'm on the clock in the second round and Dylan Parham's there, it's going to be pretty damn hard for me not to take that player. It really, really is. And now he doesn't fit every team, and he is a zone fit only, but I've got a second-round grade on him. I like him a lot. And, if I'm just looking at my big board, he's ranked 40th on my big board, 40th. If he's there at 61, it would be very difficult for me to pass on that. That's kind of my immediate take, an immediate thing that I would be, kind of missing. So that's a big one. Now, I got to put this out there real quick before we jump off. Here we go. All right, the NFL draft is so close, baby. I am so excited. And obviously, we're throwing the amazing downtown party in Las Vegas on the Strip with Fred Warner and Elijah Mitchell. And if you haven't got your tickets, go do that, 49ersrushroadtrip.com. But if you can't, and for some reason you can't make it to Vegas, guess what? We're bringing it to you. We're going to bring you the best day 1 and day 2 NFL coverage. We're going to have Fred Warner and Elijah Mitchell live on air during the NFL draft. And, again, if you're coming to the party and you got your tickets, you're going to get to meet and hang out with them. If not, you still have that opportunity because they're going to be live on air on this channel. So hit subscribe. Make sure you watch the draft with us days 1 and 2. And actually, if you have a question, you want to know what it's like for them to go through their draft process, you have questions about the 49ers team this year, go ahead and submit those to me through email, 49ersrushpodcast@gmail.com. We'll sift through those, and we'll ask both Fred Warner and Elijah Mitchell a lot of your leading questions live on air during the draft. So make sure you tune in. Hit that subscribe button. Join us for days 1 and day 2. 49ers-centric coverage with over 7 49ers content creators and 2 49ers live from the NFL draft. We've got you covered here on the 49ers Rush podcast. So go ahead and hit subscribe and join us days 1 and day 2 of the NFL draft. Yeah, so again, just sticking with this theme of, the Alex Mack kind of stepping back. He said, this is what Rosales says. Say we do sign Treader. What do you think of the team meeting with Jaquan Brisker? Again, I love Brisker. I think that he is a hell of a player. Will he be there at 61? I think he's one of those guys that you're probably going to have to trade up for. That's just kind of the way I see it. Where did I have Brisker at in my Adam 37? So I actually have Brisker rated ahead of Parham. Will he be there at 61? You got to do all the work. He's a good scheme fit. He's a hell of a player. I'd love to sign him. I don't think safety is a premium position, but Brisker's a playmaker that I think would make this team better. There's no doubt about that. But yeah, if you're asking me, is Brisker's on the board and Dylan Parham's on the board at pick 61? Right now, I'm sorry, it's not even close. Even though I have Brisker rated 3 spots higher, I'm not a traditionally, and neither are the 49ers, just a best player available approach. They're not. They go after positional needs and scheme fits first. So that would be the one that would be huge for me. From Emiliano, having a feeling John Lynch and Kyle were not blindsided, surprised by this news, just like the Jimmy surgery news. They probably at least had some insight about the 100%. 100%. They had information. We did not. This is the first information we have had. It's been, John Lynch, whenever he spoke at the Combine, basically said, yeah, it looks like he's leading on coming back and we're expecting him back and things like that. This is the first time that we got negative news whenever it comes to Alex Mack. So, again, just one of those things, if you stick with that, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard. Tommy, I'll put this out there. John, if teams want Debo, like I said, the price is 4 first. That's exactly correct. 4 first, or you just keep. We don't want to hear from you. We're keeping Debo. Don't let Debo go. Don't let Debo go. I think that's pretty simple. I think everybody's in agreement on that. And for the people that aren't, come on, get on board. Keep your studs. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this quick, just little announcement. We're going to be live 4:35 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are recording this. I think it's Tuesday. Man, my life is hectic. So we'll be back. So if you have some of those questions for me or Wayne Breezy, bring those. We'll be back. Turn on that notification bell so that you can join us for all these shows. Appreciate your support as always. Stay strong, faithful.